In war, you are alone, wounded, trying to escape. The silence around you is broken only by the distant hum of a drone. You know it's there, watching you. Seconds feel like an eternity. Every breath could be your last. You run for cover, but there's nowhere to hide. Up above, a distant operator presses a button. A flash, an explosion, the end. What happens when war gives you no chance? When the enemy is invisible, deadly, and always watching? In the next few minutes, you will witness unbelievable footage of modern warfare. Real images, brutal strategies, war like you've never seen before. If you have the courage, watch until the end. But be warned, after today, you will never look at a drone the same way again. What you are about to see contains real war footage from the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. It is presented strictly for documentary purposes. We do not encourage violence. Recommended for 18+.
March 1st, 2025.
The Azov Special Forces, 12th Brigade, carried out an operation in the village of Sherebivka, located in the Donetsk region. This area holds great strategic importance due to its abundance of natural resources, supply lines, and logistical corridors used by both Russian and Ukrainian troops. Its proximity to other key military locations makes it particularly susceptible to operations and tactical maneuvers. Ukrainian intelligence reports confirmed the presence of Russian forces in the region, prompting the special forces to advance toward the village. Upon arrival, they identified enemy troops and their hiding spots. In such missions, the primary strategy is to immediately respond to detected threats, launching swift and precise offensives as soon as hostile presence is confirmed. Reacting to enemy movements, Ukrainian troops swiftly deployed a smoke screen using grenades, which facilitated their advance and enabled them to eliminate Russian combatants attempting to remain hidden. The coordinated use of accurate gunfire and explosive devices ensured the complete neutralization of Russian troops in their defensive positions, effectively limiting their ability to retaliate due to their confined surroundings. The Ukrainian special forces applied continuous pressure on the Russian enemy, cutting off all possible escape routes. As a result, all Russian infantry units within Sherebivka were eliminated, and the enemy's shelters were completely dismantled. February 20th, 2025. In the Donetsk region, the Ukrainian army spotted a Russian armored vehicle with soldiers inside. However, after initiating the attack, they successfully destroyed the armored vehicle. The Ukrainians then continued the offensive to eliminate enemy forces, and with success, the soldiers were neutralized. However, one of them managed to survive despite being severely wounded. A Ukrainian soldier, a UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle operator, controlling the drone, detected the enemy and launched an assault to eliminate him. The Ukrainian operator carried out the first attack and dropped a bomb in the area where the wounded soldier was. However, noticing that he was still alive, the Ukrainian soldier initiated a second attack, this time dropping another bomb directly on the immobilized soldier. The explosion was so intense that it eliminated the Russian enemy. This action once again highlighted the speed and precision of the Ukrainian forces, preventing any chance of enemy retaliation. March 1st, 2025. The Hornet unit and the Bravo Team Sumy Defense Unit conducted a joint operation against Russian positions in the Donetsk region. The Bravo Team Sumy Defense Unit and the Hornet unit are part of the Ukrainian armed forces, actively engaging in operations against Russian forces in Donetsk. Meanwhile, the Hornet unit is known for its expertise in advanced drone warfare. The Ukrainian offensive began with a drone advancing toward a Russian position, releasing an explosive that eliminated one enemy soldier. Shortly after, another bomb was deployed, successfully neutralizing most of the remaining Russian troops. Following this, Ukrainian soldiers launched an assault on enemy hideouts, swiftly securing the first target before continuing their offensive against remaining forces, which were subsequently neutralized. The Hornet unit, employing drone surveillance, tracked and pinpointed the fleeing combatant who sought refuge in a forested area. One Russian soldier managed to escape. However, an FPV drone operator executed a precise strike, dropping an explosive directly onto the target. Ensuring the elimination of the fugitive. March 1st, 2025. In the Kharkiv region, north of the village of Lozova, lies one of the main battlegrounds between Russian and Ukrainian forces. The strategic significance of this territory is due to its role in advance and defense routes, troop movements, and supply storage. Controlling this area enables Ukrainian forces to hinder Russian advances toward Kharkiv, one of the most critical cities in eastern Ukraine. The 8th Ukrainian Special Forces Regiment launched a strategic offensive against Russian troops positioned in the area. Despite being stationed in tactically advantageous locations, the Russian soldiers were overwhelmed and forced to retreat. Facing the necessity of withdrawal in response to the Ukrainian advance, Russian combatants attempted to hide in forested areas to avoid drone detection. However, they had no alternative, as Ukrainian UAV operators monitored every enemy movement. The drones tracked and eliminated the soldiers who had sought refuge. Russian troops and their hideouts became targets of precision strikes carried out by Ukrainian operators. It is evident that fleeing across open terrain only facilitates the elimination of Russian invaders, as Ukrainian drones can strike them with even greater accuracy. With UAV support, Ukrainian troops successfully thwarted any attempted Russian counterattack. However, none of the enemy soldiers survived, and all potential escape routes were blocked by drone operators. By the end of the operation, the majority of Russian forces had been neutralized. March 1, 2025. In the village of Nadiveka, Donetsk region, the Ukrainian Navy identified Russian T90 tanks positioned west of the area, waiting for the right moment to strike. The T90 is Russia's third-generation main battle tank, developed from the T-72, featuring advancements in armor, weaponry, and electronic systems. It is equipped with a 125mm 2A46M main gun, capable of firing armor-piercing, explosive, and even anti-tank missiles. Additionally, it includes secondary machine guns for defense against infantry and low-altitude aircraft, and is compatible with reflex-guided missiles, allowing precise long-range strikes on enemy vehicles. Ukrainian forces launched an artillery strike against the tanks, although footage does not directly confirm the destruction of the armored vehicles. Reports suggest that after the initial shelling, the tanks were neutralized by drones, ensuring greater precision in the attack. Throughout the war, Ukrainian forces have successfully destroyed numerous T-90s using Javelin, NLAW anti-tank missiles, and Bayraktar TB2 drones. The Javelin, USA, and NLAW, UK, anti-tank missiles are portable guided systems that effectively destroy armored vehicles with high precision, even while in motion. The Javelin operates with a fire and forget system, allowing the operator to reposition immediately after launching, while the NLAW features a top attack mode, striking where tank armor is weakest. The Bayraktar TB2 drones, Turkey, are unmanned aerial vehicles used for reconnaissance and strikes, carrying guided missiles to eliminate strategic targets such as tanks and air defense systems. Given these Ukrainian military assets, the vulnerability of the T-90 tank becomes apparent, particularly due to its ammunition storage near the turret, significantly increasing the risk of secondary explosions and total destruction of the vehicle. This has resulted in considerable losses of T-90 tanks on the battlefield. Ukrainian forces have effectively implemented aerial reconnaissance and surprise drone strikes, maximizing the elimination of enemy armored units. March 1, 2025. The 79th Air Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, an elite unit specializing in aerial assault operations, carried out an offensive in the Mykolaiv region. This area holds strategic importance due to its location in southern Ukraine, serving as a key point for controlling land and river routes, in addition to housing essential military and industrial infrastructure. The conflict began when Russian troops attempted to advance into the region. Ukrainian forces responded with precise strikes, targeting Russian units and halting their movement. The operation resulted in the destruction of significant military assets, including tanks, armored vehicles, motorcycles, and infantry fighting vehicles, along with the elimination of Russian infantry units. An increase in the use of heavy military equipment by Russian forces was observed, a strategy that could potentially provide an advantage over Ukrainian troops. However, Ukrainian operations have consistently disrupted the effectiveness of this approach. Airstrikes using drones and artillery support have weakened Russian operational capabilities in the region, restricting their strategic advances. February 22, 2025. In the footage, a North Korean soldier is seen continuously scanning the sky, attempting to spot any drones, visibly anxious as he was aware of his vulnerability to aerial attacks. However, Ukrainian drone operators had already identified his location and were initiating an attack against him in the Kursk region. The Kursk region has been a hotspot for conflicts related to the war in Ukraine. In 2024, Ukrainian forces launched a surprise incursion, capturing several locations, including the city of Popovo-Ležachi. More recently, in February 2025, additional attacks were recorded, further escalating tensions in the area. Since October 2024, North Korea has deployed approximately 12,000 soldiers to support Russian forces in the war against Ukraine, primarily concentrating their efforts in the Kursk region. It is known that North Korean soldiers not only endure direct attacks, but also face intense psychological pressure. Upon spotting the North Korean soldier via UAV, the drone operator carried out a precise attack, launching an explosive that successfully neutralized the target. This action demonstrated the effectiveness of drones not only in direct combat, but also in psychological warfare, keeping adversaries under constant surveillance and forcing them into strategic mistakes due to their heightened state of alertness. March 1, 2025. Russian troops advanced towards the Tory region in Donetsk. However, through the extensive use of drones, the 60th Mechanized Brigade managed to detect them. The 60th Mechanized Brigade in Hulets is a unit of the Ukrainian ground forces. During the 2022 Russian invasion, the brigade was mobilized and transferred to the South Operational Command, playing a significant role in defending and liberating various localities in the Kherson region. As Russian infantry moved forward, drones launched the first strike, causing an explosion that forced a Russian soldier to seek cover. However, a second attack was executed on the target, all under the coordination of FPV drone operators. Even after the second explosion, the Russian soldier managed to escape alive. Other Russian troops in the area were identified in various forested locations and were systematically neutralized by Ukrainian drones with precise, calculated strikes. The military application of technology enables continuous surveillance and tactical strikes against enemy forces, as demonstrated in this Ukrainian operation, using UAVs and FPV drones to track and eliminate adversaries. If you watched till the end, leave a like now.